Hello YouTube, Freddy Cardona here, back again with another video of driving and the news. So I just uploaded a YouTube short titled Happy Holidays 2022. So just wanted to try that platform out. Don't know if everyone watches YouTube shorts or not, but I'm gonna throw some of those up as well and see how that goes. But for those of you who are new to the channel and those of you who have just landed on this video, my name is Freddy Cardona. I have several playlists on my channel. This one is Driving and the News, where my mission is to record history. So daily on my commute to work, I will listen to 1010 Wins here in the New York Metropolitan area, and I bring you guys with me as I'm listening to the news. And we upload these almost daily. The only times that I won't upload is if I am not going to work or if I am not leaving the house. But even then, I have something in mind to still upload the news for that day. So stay posted, stay tuned for that. And of course, today is a glary day. So that's the mission here with Driving and the News. My other playlists are Pride in Patterson, where I feature places in Patterson, and Fred Drives, which is a Sunday driver type video. And those obviously are uploaded on Sunday. So guys, thank you again for tuning in, and let's get you guys the news.
Trading week of this year with losses yesterday on worries about an aggressive Fed when it comes to interest rate hikes. What about today? Well, S&P futures, they're down now almost 8 points. NASDAQ in the red 56. Dow futures are down 3 points. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Steve Potisk for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Did you live, work, or go to school in Lower Manhattan below Canal Street either on 9/11 or in the 8 months after? Susan Richard here with this message. If you did, you really need to contact Barish and McGarry at 911awards.com. This is because you may be eligible not only for free lifetime health care, but also an award from the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund. You see, our government created those programs for everyone who was breathing in all that toxic dust. But many people aren't enrolling because they mistakenly think this is only for first responders. Well, let's be clear right now. That fund is also for a lot of other people. 300,000 downtown office workers, 25,000 downtown residents, and 50,000...
For those of you familiar with this area here in Patterson, this used to be the area where the Alabama housing projects was located.
That's 911awards with an S.com. Barish and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com/news, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com/news. That's getrefunds.com/news.
WINS, WINS-FM, and HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
When's news time? 7:59. Pretty cold out there. Brisk. AccuWeather real feels stuck in the 20s this morning. The rest of today, sunshine not as harsh with less wind. Can certainly calm down compared to yesterday, up to 40. 28 tonight, 40 again tomorrow before some heavier rain comes in Thursday into Friday. Of course, stay with 1010 Winds, 92.3 FM. We'll have all the details with all the travel happening. Busy time, and the weather's going to be a factor. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Gary Souter, our service aide this morning. Eileen LaPalmer's writing for us. Justin Schrager's the editor. I'm Glenn Schuck.
92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning, 32 degrees, 8 o'clock Tuesday, December 20th. I'm Lee Harris. Here's what's happening. Calls for the resignation of newly elected Republican Congressman George Santos in response to a report in the Times claiming his backstory is phony. The U.S. Supreme Court keeps Title 42 in place for now, heading off what was expected to be a massive influx of migrants, at least temporarily. An MTA dispatcher in Bellevue this morning after getting smashed in the head with a hammer at the 14th Street and 8th Avenue station. Bishop Lamar Whitehead, who was robbed of $1 million in blame during a church service, is now under arrest on unrelated fraud charges. Harvey Weinstein's been convicted of rape again, this time in L.A. Sports. Islanders lose to the Avalanche in a 1-0 shootout. The Packers beat the Rams in Monday Night Football. 10-2 and AccuWeather. Mostly sunny, not as harsh as yesterday. Less wind, and we'll have a high of 40 in Midtown. Wednesday news time, 8:01. Traffic and transit on the ones now. Here's Karen Stewart.
Checking what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. We've got 40-minute delays inbound at the GW Bridge. We are jammed at the tolls. The Palisades is jammed on the southbound side, trying to get over to the inbound GW Bridge ramps. The bridge is jammed up and over the Alexander Hamilton and out in the Grand Concourse. We are jammed as well. The inbound side of the Lincoln Tunnel looks like a 35-minute wait, and the inbound side of the Holland, that's definitely got a 40 to 45-minute delay right now. Now, if you're traveling the East River, we are delayed a little bit, not heavily anymore, both ways at the Whitestone Bridge. The good thing about the Whitestone is once you're in the Bronx, you don't have to deal with that Bruckner construction up to Bronx Pelham Parkway as you do over at the Throgs Neck, but quite honestly, the Throgs Neck is lighter in either direction than the Whitestone Bridge is. We are jammed on the westbound LIE from Casino Boulevard to Grand Avenue, and then again from Maurice Avenue to the BQE West, which is also jammed from Queens Boulevard up and over the Kosciuszko, and then we've just got heavy traffic from the Kosciuszko Bridge down into the Brooklyn Bridge, where the long-term construction starts in that direction. Inbound Gowanus BQE eastbound from 39th Street to Atlantic Avenue, we're jammed. Atlantic is where the long-term road work starts there. Traffic is sponsored by Touro University's New York School of Career and Applied Studies, NICEGAS. Our next report is 8:11. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
At Touro University's NICEGAS, you'll find more support and more degree options and more career opportunities. Online evening and weekend classes plus financial aid and scholarships. Let Touro guide you to graduation. Visit nicegaz.touro.edu to get started today.
There are calls this morning for the resignation of a newly elected congressman representing parts of Long Island and Queens. The calls are coming from people who say George Santos is not the man he presented to the public. Samantha Liebman with more from Queens this morning.
The New York Times reporting Santos did not attend NYU or Baruch, work for Citigroup or Goldman, and raises questions about his company and income. His lawyer responding on Twitter, calling it a, quote, shotgun blast of attacks. But Nassau County legislator Democrat Josh Lafazan says politicians lie, but not like this.
There's a very big difference between somebody embellishing and telling a white lie versus somebody telling a lie that may end up getting him indicted. And I hope there's an investigation from the federal government.
Lafazan says he's had a bipartisan group of constituents call him outraged.
They have every right to be pissed. Those who voted for him and those who live in this district are outraged. They were straight up lied to.
Many of them protesting later this morning in front of Santos's listed address. The Times also questioning if he actually lives there. Samantha Liebman, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Whitestone, Queens.
The U.S. Supreme Court is keeping Title 42 in effect for now, and that may prevent a massive influx of migrants for the moment.
Republican-led states convincing Chief Justice John Roberts to, at least for now, keep the Title 42 pandemic restrictions in place. A lower court had ordered them ended, saying they were no longer needed to protect U.S. citizens from migrants bringing COVID into the nation. Border cities said lifting that restriction would flood communities with undocumented migrants. The Supreme Court ruling keeps the COVID restrictions in place until a court hears arguments for and against.
Andy Field reporting the news may come as some relief to Mayor Adams, who is upset that the federal government is not helping the city deal with the migrants who are here now and the many more expected if Title 42 restrictions are eventually lifted.
Cities should not be carrying the weight of a national problem. This is unfair to all of our cities to have to go through this without any help from the national government and the state government.
Meantime, another migrant has reportedly taken his own life in a city homeless shelter. The 26-year-old from Venezuela was found in a bathroom in a shelter in Queens. No word on the exact cause of death.
10-1 AccuWeather, mostly sunny today, not as harsh. We'll have less wind than yesterday and a high near 40. 32 degrees now, clear skies, it's sunny. Humidity at 54, the winds are northwest at 6. 32, we're going up to 40 in Midtown. The MTA says it has zero tolerance for assaults on MTA workers, but they keep happening anyway. There was another one first thing this morning at 14th Street and 8th Avenue. Police say a dispatcher at the station was smashed in the head with a hammer by a man who then jumped under a train that had just pulled into the station. Police dragged him out from under there. The suspect, believed to be homeless, was taken to Bellevue along with the dispatcher, who was reported in stable condition. Hanukkah was observed at the White House last night, the second night of the holiday. Among those joining President Biden, a Holocaust survivor and a rabbi who survived an 11-hour hostage situation at his synagogue earlier this year. The president condemned the rise of anti-Semitism and said everyone must.
As your president, I want to make this clear. As my dad would say, and many of you have said, silence is complicity. We must not remain silent.
On the first night of Hanukkah, the president unveiled a permanent menorah for the White House collection made by the White House Carpentry Shop from wood salvaged from the White House itself. Bishop Lamar Whitehead made headlines earlier this year when he was robbed of $1 million in bling during a church service. 2 men were arrested for that robbery. Now the bishop is also under arrest.
The grand jury says Bishop Whitehead took $90,000 from a worshiper to help her buy a house, but then kept the money and spent it on himself. He's also charged with trying to scam a businessman out of $500,000. Whitehead was in federal court pleading not guilty and released on $500,000 bond. His lawyer, Dawn Florio, saying the feds are targeting him.
This all stems out of a civil lawsuit that is being handled in civil court, and he will be vindicated.
Charges include 2 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of extortion. Each could bring 20 years in prison.
All right, guys, that was Driving and the News for December 20, 2022. 5 days to Christmas. And yes, 5 days to Christmas. I probably need to take a few more math courses, right? 25. All right, guys. Have a great day. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. And Happy Kwanzaa coming up. All right, guys. Have a good day.